on the cross.
Blessings to everyone. This is Pastor Terry and welcome to TCC Online. Today is part 2 of Recognize, Remember, and Recommend. We're talking about God getting rid of Ahab and showing how we recognize it was God that did this. Okay? And realize that God is in heaven, and then he moves and things manifest here in the natural realm here on this earth. So how did God get rid of the wicked king Ahab? And it starts with a spirit. We're going to take a look at 18 and read verse 21. And he said, this is a spirit says, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all of his prophets. And the Lord said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. Okay, in heaven, the plan is we got to get rid of Ahab. Okay, spirits come up, angels, they're making suggestions how we do this. Then this one spirit comes and says, okay, I got a plan. I'm going to talk to his prophets, and I will convince them to tell Ahab to go to Gilead and fight the Syrians, okay? Now, all of this is taking place in heaven under God's supervision. God says, go and prevail. So, the Spirit talks to the prophets, okay? They talk to Ahab, and Ahab is now on his way to Gilead to fight this battle. 18th chapter, we're going to pick it up with verse 33. It says, and a certain man drew a bow and smote the king of Israel with an arrow between the joints of his armor. Therefore, he said to his chariot man, turn thy hand that thou mayst carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. And the battle increased that day. However, the king of Israel, Ahab, stayed in his chariot against the Syrians until the battle was over. And as the sun was going down, he died. Ahab is dead. How many people, without reading about the Spirit or even reading about the Spirit, will recognize the fact that God did this? Okay, this was a move of God to get Ahab out of here. Because if you've read about Ahab and Jezebel, they were some bad dudes. Okay, it was not good. So we recognize the fact that God got rid of Ahab. However, you see that it was done through a bow and an arrow. It was also done through a spirit that told lies to the prophets. The prophets then told Ahab, go down to Gilead, where the Syrians were that killed Ahab. All of this was God, but if you don't get into, I call it, get into the weeds, dig around, really hunt, you'll miss the point that this was a move of God. And so it is in our lives, okay? Be able to really search, look, and say, okay, God did this for me. God did that for me. I've just been blessed by God. Remember, it comes from the spirit realm into the physical realm and manifests before our eyes. I want to give you the Greek definition for recognize. It means to identify. Christian friends, you want to identify what God is saying and what he's doing. And remember, the doing takes place here on earth because we are physical, fleshly beings. Okay? Also understand that spiritually, his voice, his words, and then his actions, they will manifest just like they manifest here with Ahab finally being killed. Next, to recognize, it means to have an understanding, to have appreciation and to have knowledge. I want to touch real quick on that appreciation. When you recognize what God is doing, appreciate it. Okay? When you get the knowledge of what God is doing, appreciate it. When you know that was God, when you have that moment of, really? Oh my God. Wow. Have the appreciation, because this is the final part of recognizing. You appreciate what you have identified, which is a move of God in your life. Alrighty, we'll pick this up and we'll get into remember in part 3.
The blood speaks a better word. The bread, your body, the wine, your blood, sweet communion, you set a table for us. The crucified Jesus, no greater love than the bread, your body, than the wine, your blood. Oh,